And these are all the language books that are going to go on this shelf that we just put together. So I'll start with the secondhand books that I got from half price books, and then I'll go to the new ones that I got from A-Land and then from Barnes & Noble. And some books I had to go to 2 Barnes & Nobles in order to find them, like the short stories in Korean, the intermediate book. I had to go to 2 different Barnes & Nobles in order to find that one. Alright. Oh. And like I said just a moment ago, I got these from Half Price Books. The one I went to, I don't know if they have their own bag, but this one didn't have their own bag, so they just had whatever recyclable bags they had, so. Alright. Oh. Okay, to start off, the languages I'm doing currently are in the order of like importance. It's Korean, Chinese, Spanish, and French. Like Spanish and French are kind of at the same level, but yeah, Korean, Chinese, Spanish, and French. So the first one I have is a book strictly in Mandarin. I know a couple characters currently that I can recognize. This is just so I can boost my vocabulary. So like probably do a page or half a page at a time until I get to understand the whole book, and then read the whole book by itself again when I can get the gist of it. This one is Easy Spanish Reader. And there's no writing in this one, so whoever had this one probably like just read it and didn't write in it. I intend to write in it, so. And then there's this other Chinese book. It's like Whispers of Wisdom. And this one is a Duolingo book. So it has Mandarin up top and then the English translation at the bottom. So this one, I think this will be one of the first ones that I used. And then I got this Larva Korean book, and it's a comic actually. So it's a Korean comic, so everything's in Korean. It's very hard in my state, which is Minnesota, to find like Korean bookstores. There's no Korean bookstores where I live. There's one like 6 hours away in Chicago, so I would need to drive to Chicago and then go browse their bookstore, or fly to California and go see their bookstore. Okay, there we go. So yeah, this one is it's a multilingual book. As you saw, it has both in Mandarin and English. Then this one isn't really for me. This one's for my son. It's a Korean math book. So, and then I got Everything Spanish practice book. And this one comes with a CD. Let me see. And the CD is inside. I got Integrated Korean, but this is Intermediate 2. They didn't have like Beginner 1. I think this has Beginner 2 or Intermediate 1. They just had Intermediate 2. So for now, I just bought it. Like if I see it at another half price book, like book 1, I'll get that one. But I just didn't want to miss out on getting this. And then Elementary Chinese, this one is simplified Chinese characters. So whoever wrote in this wrote in it with pencil, so I could just erase it. And then this one is traditional Chinese characters. Same elementary Chinese book, just with the traditional characters instead of the current simplified ones. So for this second one, I am also beginning to study for the MCATs. So I have the full Kaplan 7 MCAT books, but I didn't get the flashcards. They had this one at half price books for $13, so I just got it. And then I have this Mandarin Chinese phrase book. This one is $3.99, so I just decided to get it. And plus it has like phrases for everything when you're checking into a hotel, you're ordering breakfast, you're at a cafe, the road signs, the months, the days of the year, small talk, you have greetings. Like it's a phrase book for just about everything. And this one I got for my son. It's the little, what is it called? The little Pim. And this is the Chinese CD for the kids to learn Chinese. And it has this 1, 2, and 3. And then I have the Korean Essential Vocabulary, and it's 6,000 vocabulary words are in this tiny book. And I'm sure it's not every vocabulary word out there. Like they're not focusing on medical terminology or business terminology. It's just like regular words that you can probably use or that will come up in your day-to-day life or in more constant situations, versus like learning medical terminology is quite niche. Like I would learn it because that's the route I'm going, and if they have like a study abroad medical program, I want to do that. But these are just like yeah, your regular words that'll help you pass your topic exam. Okay, so now we're gonna go through the books I got from A-Land. This is the bag. A-Land is a Korean store, but they opened one in the Mall of America recently. So they sell like Korean fashion wear, but then they also have books from Talk to Me in Korean. So I got the Korean Verbs Guide, book 1 and 2. They had it at the time that I bought this one. And then Real Life Conversations for Beginners. And then I also have 혹시 파란색 진돗개 보셨어요? Have you seen a blue Jindu dog? So the last ones from A-Land are the Talk to Me in Korean Level 1 book, grammar book, and then the workbook. My plan was actually to get levels 1, 2, and 3, both of these, but like I said, $24.99 and $21. So when it is currently, and when I'm done with this, then I can always go back and get some more, or order them before I'm almost done with this one. Like with shipping, would it just be about the same in either way? I don't know. I'll see though. And then I also got 1,100 useful and short Korean phrases for beginners. I had planned to get so many more books, but with these price tags, I had to limit them. So that's all for A-Land. Are from Barnes & Noble. So these ones are from the second Barnes & Noble that I went to that's actually by my house. I found the short stories in Spanish. This one is for beginners, and then they also have a short stories in Spanish for intermediate. I'm like very beginner in Spanish. I took it in middle school, but I wasn't really paying attention like to retain the information. I was just paying attention to pass the class. Same thing with French. I took French throughout high school, but I think for 2 or 3 years. And then I took a semester of French after I studied abroad in France in college. But it was just to pass the class. So, and yeah. And then I got the short stories in Korean. They only have the intermediate book as far as I know. And then I also got the beginner Mandarin Chinese characters so that I can practice the strokes. And this comes with printable flashcards and an online audio to go with the book. But this is how it looks. They have the rice paper design grids to, you know, help you learn how to write the characters. And it's 300 characters but 1,200 words. And then this one is the complete step-by-step, the complete Spanish step-by-step. I got the Korean stories for language learners. I think most people, when they do buy books, they have this. Initially, I wasn't gonna buy any like physical books, and I was just trying to work off the free copies that I have already on my iPad. I think I have this one on my iPad as well. But I really am more like a physical book type of person. So seeing the book, feeling the book, writing the book, like that's just more my style in learning. I'm not really good with online classes, not good with online books, ebooks, all that. Like, I have a lot of Audible books, but I don't even listen to them because I'd rather have the physical copy of the book. But anyways, that's just my personal style. But yeah, I have the folk tales, Korean folk tales, and this one is bilingual also. It's in Korean and English. It's 42 traditional Korean folk tales through bilingual Korean and English texts together, and detailed notes and exercises aimed at beginning learners of the language. So yeah, this is for beginners, and then this is for intermediates. And then I got the elementary Korean workbook. I do have this one, like I'm 100% sure. I have this one on my iPad, and I've tried to use it, but the way how it is, like the words overlap. They're not placed properly. So I got the book because I know they're not gonna print a book with overlapping words. I hope. So that's why I got this one. And then I got the Mastering Conversational Korean, Korean for Beginners. This one. And another bilingual Chinese book, right? Yes, another bilingual Chinese book. This one is just like the Korean stories for language learners. This is the Chinese stories for language learners. Oh, and as you go further, the stories get longer. Oh, maybe you don't have to go too far in. Yeah. As you get deeper in, the stories get much longer. And the last book from Barnes & Noble, last but not least, is Learning Conversational Chinese, Mandarin Chinese for Beginners. And they do have some like comics inside. Just so you know, you're not just reading a straight book. They have cute drawings inside as well. Okay, so what we have is this Barron's French vocabulary tiny book. I did map out like the importance of each level and how much time I'm gonna spend each language, the importance of each language and how much time I'm gonna spend per language per day. I'm doing like a 20 hours for the week, so across 7 days, splitting it between the 4, not evenly, but specifically on which language has more importance and I want to spend more time with versus, you know, the other languages that I'm still taking as an importance, but just not as important as, you know, Korean. And then the numbers are slightly different for vocabulary because I do have a vast-ish like amount of vocabulary that I know already for Korean, so I'm spending less time learning new vocabulary words, probably mostly reviewing and stuff to make sure I retain the old vocabulary words that I already know, but like to get new words, I'm not spending as much time. More time on learning new Chinese words than Korean words, and then yeah. And then I got short stories in French for beginners. So I have short stories in Spanish, French, Korean, and I don't think they don't have one for Chinese. I haven't found one for Chinese. So I got this one. Every Barnes & Noble has something different. They mostly have like about the same things, but Some have more, some have less. Like this third Barnes & Noble, the language section was actually quite small. It's the smallest I've seen so far. But yeah, so there's this one. Oh, battery about to die. And then I got 15-minute Spanish. And then I also have 15-minute French. Easy French readers, so like easy stories to read. And then easy French step by step. So this is my French selection of books. There's only one book that I got that wasn't specifically for French. But this is what the French shelf will look like. It'll just be these 5 for now. Maybe I'll add some later. But I think for now, with the amount of time that I'm dedicating to French, this is a good amount of books to do. But yeah, I will be going through all of these books and using them on the day-to-day. I'm technically like just starting from scratch all over again for everything. And so I'm going to document the journey for each language and how I'm doing. And then in the end, when I'm done with each book, I'll tell you guys, recommend which ones were good and which ones I would like to avoid, and which ones really helped with the HSK and topic. I don't know the name for the French language exam or the Spanish language exam, so I guess I gotta go Google that and figure that out, huh? Yeah, so that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Annyeong. Bye.